time move here, Gary.
Talk about elevating in Linker. Jermaine Griffin says, well, if Kobe can't do it, maybe it's my turn to take over. I'm the second leading scorer on this team.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Mel from Queens Radio Sports Talk. You already know what it is. Mel from Queens. This is Sports Talk Radio. What's going on, y'all? Hope all is well out there with everybody, man. It's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy day, you know. But yo, it is what it is. We here right now, so you know, give me a shout out 347-410-8077. That's 347-410-8077. Yo, we in the building today, man. Yo, we got to talk about the playoffs, man. We got to definitely talk about the playoffs. Got to see what's going on. It was crazy yesterday. Chris Paul, man. It was the Bucks. They got blown out. You know, the Suns got blown out. So Chris Paul got blown out. You know, the Suns. Giannis got blown out. So we need to talk about this today, man, because a lot of times when players get blown out, man, we hear about it. When certain NBA players, man, I don't want to bring the name up, but we could just say this is like LeBron James in that situation. People will be judging him. People will be judging his legacy. You know, people will be judging all of those things. So my first question, you know, to people would be, you know, does this change your thought of Chris Paul? Does anything change with Giannis? How you see Giannis and his career and how they perform? That's what I want to talk about today, man. Because that was kind of like an unexcusable performance yesterday. On both ends. So give me a call 347-410-8077. This is Mel from Queens Sports Talk. I just want to open the radio up this morning, man, because I definitely, man, like 90 to 123, and you home? The Suns, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, like, come on, man. I don't get it. I don't understand, man. You can't get blown out like that. There's no excuse. Nobody from the Suns, showed up. So, why didn't they show out? Did they throw the game? Like, we gotta ask ourselves, man, what's going on? Did somebody get paid, man? Did somebody get paid? Because there's no reason why, man, it's supposed to be 90 to 123 in the game 7, and you had the best record in the NBA. You were the defending Western Conference champions because you made it to the NBA Finals. You got a Hall of Fame point guard. You got an upcoming star in Devin Booker. You got Ayton. Yo, this don't make no sense, man. Y'all let Luka Doncic just do whatever he wanted to do. Like nobody could guard him. Is that bad out there? Is Luka? Are we underestimating who like Luka is or his game? Or was the just the Suns laid the egg, man? Because it don't make no sense. Chris Paul 10 points. He only took 8 shots. Devin Booker took 14 shots, 3 for 14. He only had 11 points. DeAndre Ayton 5 shots. How does DeAndre Ayton get 5 shots in a game 7? Bridges. How does Bridges go 3 for 11? How does Bridges take more shots than Ayton and Chris Paul? How does Jay Crowder take more shots than DeAndre Ayton and Chris Paul? Was this like a coaching thing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this don't make no sense, man. This don't make no sense. I was really surprised. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were surprised as well at the outcome of this game. Like, I don't know, man. This might go down. This might go down in history. This might go down in history as like one of the worst, performances known. I don't know, man. We got to think about this. We got to think about this. I mean, the Bucks got blown out as well, but people going to run and say that, well, Giannis he didn't have Chris Middleton, and Giannis at least he was balling out. I mean, he had 25 points and 20 rebounds. I mean, he got a little help from Holiday, even though Holiday shot bad. 9 for 21 for 21 points. Brook Lopez throwing 15 points, but they just kept jacking threes, man, and they went 4 for 33 and 3-point shots. And that's the part of the game while, the Boston Celtics went, 22 for 55 as a team. So, I don't know, man. Like, it was like a lot of eggs laid yesterday, man. Tatum, he had a decent game. He had 23 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Jaylen Brown, he had a decent game, 19 points, 8 rebounds. Williams, he stepped up big, 7 for 18 for 3-pointers. He had 27 points. That was a big that was a big game, man. That was a big game for him, for Williams. He stepped up. Giannis, man, it wasn't nothing Giannis could do, man. I don't know if he ran out of gas or what, but it was I don't know. They didn't get it done. That was bad. I think as a fan, we didn't expect to see that in 2 Game 7. So it's gonna make people question like a lot of things. Some people are gonna start questioning if is the game rigged, if players selling out, if players taking money with all this sports gambling. I mean, it's gonna be out there. We can't run from it because this is like unacceptable as a fan, as a sports fan. And like I said, the worst team is the Phoenix Suns. Because you had the best record in the NBA the entire season, and you don't even make it to the conference finals, and your whole team is there, and your whole team is pretty much healthy. It's unexcusable right now, man. It's unexcusable. Like, we can't. Who do we hold accountable? Like, who do we hold accountable right now? That's the question. That's the question I'm asking right now. Who do we hold accountable for this Phoenix Suns? Do we hold Chris Paul accountable? Do we hold Monty Williams accountable? Do we hold, Devin Booker accountable? Who do we hold accountable right now? Because somebody got to be held accountable. Now, a lot of times when players, talk about when we talk about legacy, right? You have a bad game, and then people, they start to say that, hey, this ruining your legacy. Did Chris Paul take a hit right now with this game? Did Chris Paul take a hit? Let me know. You talking with Mel from Queens? We doing this sports talk radio. Give me a call, 347-410-8077. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your views. What did you get from last night? What did you get last night? Let's talk about it. Cause that was bad. That was bad, man. So when I was sitting there thinking, with that being said, a lot of times when we talk about Chris Paul, right, a conversation came up where, people say when a game is on the line, when there's money on the line, Chris Paul, he's either injured or he chokes. One of the two. He's either injured or he chokes. One of the two. So I feel like a lot of times when we talking about like a guy, just say like Doc Rivers, who coached him for a couple years, right? You got Doc Rivers. He coached Chris Paul for a few years, and he just coached James Harden, right? A lot of times, Doc Rivers take the heat for players that are overrated, man. Like these dudes don't perform with nobody. Like you think about James Harden, we've seen him collapse plenty time and time and time again. So what he did with the Sixers is no different. Chris Paul, we seen Chris Paul collapse time and time again. Now Booker played a lot better last year in a lot of those big games, so they closed out a lot of series because Booker really, don't get me wrong, Chris Paul, he played well in a lot of the series, but Booker really carried them a lot because Chris Paul battled with some injuries last year, definitely against the Lakers series. They didn't really need a Chris Paul, but he did his thing the second series. They got a sweat. They sweat that whole series, and Chris Paul played well. But then when you got to the conference finals, against the Clippers, Booker was doing his thing in the finals. But in Game 7 this time, Booker didn't come through. But, just think about the heat that Doc Rivers get a lot of times, man. Look, think about the plays that he has. A lot of them is overrated, man. They're not the superstar. Are they good players? Are they stars? Yeah. Some are stars. Some are just great players, but they're not the superstar. Chris Paul is not on the level of like Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Giannis. I'm thinking about it. Giannis right now. I don't know if Chris Paul ever been on that level. Chris Paul, he only been to a conference finals twice in his entire career, and one time NBA finals, and he was never the head guy. He was never the head guy during that time. So I don't want to take this time, I ain't gonna talk about, nobody money, nothing like that. But we do got to get to the bottom of this. Like we just can't let we can't let dudes get away with this, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. So you tell me your thoughts. 347-410-8077. I want to hear your thoughts on the two games last night. I do want to talk about, a little baseball real quick, and I want to come back to that. The Mets, man, they've been rolling. They still in a good place right now. But I tend to just, get worried at times, man. We at our last 10 games, we've been 5-5. We lost last night, man. A game that, we should have had in the bag, man. We should have had that game in the bag, man. It's like you can't get that type of pitching and not win the game. There's no way that should be able to happen, man. That wasn't good. Yeah, that wasn't good, man. The Yankees won. So that was a good, the Yankees got a good win. So I'm still expecting this Subway Series. I'm hoping this year we can get a Mets versus Yankees Subway Series. That's what I'm pushing for. So I don't know. We gotta see how that go. But I want to definitely just talk about that, man. I was upset that the Mets lost, but I know I got a lot of Yankee fans out there that I know the Yankees won. The Yankees is rolling right now. They still got the best, record in the league. But I'm Mets all day, man, till I die. So, we still right there. We still right there, doing what we do. Yo, let me know your thoughts, man, on the Mets and the Yankees if you want to call up. And also, if you just want to call up about your team, it might not be the Mets or the Yankees. Give me a call, 347-410-8077. Let me know your thoughts on the Yankees. Let me know your thoughts on the Mets. Mets, we still top our division, so, I ain't worried right now. But we got to clean some things up. We definitely got to clean some things up. And, the Yankees, they rolling right now, so they in good position. They just jumping out far, but, a lot of times in the playoffs, the Yankees be folding the last couple years. So we got to see how that's gonna play out for the Yankees. But yo, let's get back, man, to this. Let's get back to this Phoenix Suns, man, and this Dallas Mavericks, man. Like it was a time with Luka, he had more points than the entire Suns team, man. I think that's kind of disrespectful. Like, come on, man. If you part of the Phoenix Suns, you can't sleep this summer. This should torment you. This is probably just as bad as when they started bringing out the ropes when the Miami Heat and the San Antonio Spurs played, and the Spurs thought they had this in the bag, and before you know it, man, Ray Allen hit one of the most iconic shots in sports history, not just NBA history, man, just sports history. But if you imagine how the Spurs felt, they came back as animals the next year, man. They was just destroying everything in sight. Played that rematch in the finals and got their revenge. I'm expecting the Phoenix Suns to have that type of energy going into next year. Like, you gotta want to murder everything in sight. You just can't be. You can't be okay with this. You can't sit back and be like, yo, man, like, I could rock with this. This can't just not, torment you the entire summer if you're a baller like that. There's no way. So if I'm the Suns, like this whole offseason, man, it's work. It's work, man. This whole entire offseason is going to be a lot of work that need to get done. And it's going to have to start, man. They're going to have to figure out what they're going to do with Chris Paul. They're going to have to figure that one out. Is he the guy for them? That's the question. Is Chris Paul really, truly the guy right now? Or should they go in another direction? That's the question we're having right now. Because maybe Chris Paul is not the guy. Maybe he's not the guy. I don't know. But next year, they're going to have to figure something out. They're going to have to figure something out, man, because, yo, that was bad. That was really, really bad. So we got to see what's good, man. And Ayton, man, I know he only played like 17 minutes. But Devin Booker, did Devin Booker take a step back to you for y'all? Because I don't know what got into him yesterday, man. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like something is up. I feel something is up. I feel something is up. Because this don't make no sense. So let me know, man. 347-410-8077. You tuned in from Mel from Queens Sports Talk. And we just here right now, man. We just, talking about the NBA games from last night. Um, we spoke about, Chris Paul. We spoke about Monty Williams, man. This is a big hit. But what about Giannis? What about Giannis? I don't know.
Hello?
Caller. Caller. This is Mel from Queens Sports Talk. Where you calling from?
Hello?
All right, I gotta get back to them. Gotta get back to that caller. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, man, this is one of those moments, man, where I don't know. Chris Paul, man, he gonna have to think. But I'm gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. You tuned in to Mel from Queens Sports Talk. Let's go.
Time move here, Gary.
Talk about elevating and linger. Jermaine Griffin says, well, if Kobe can't do it, maybe it's my turn to take over. I'm the second leading scorer on this team.
Yo, you back, Mel from Queens Sports Talk Radio. You already know. So we talking about, the Phoenix Suns. We talking about the Dallas Mavericks. I don't think that the Phoenix Suns, I don't think, it just seemed like they laid down to me. That's what I get. That's the vibes I get. I don't think that Dallas did anything ridiculous. And when you watch the game, it's like when Luka was driving, the up and unders and his moves, it seemed like they were just stepping out the way. It seemed like he was like, it was like they wasn't making it difficult for him. Now, sometimes you can be that good and it can seem like that, life is not, difficult or whatever. Or it could seem easier than what it really is, and maybe he's really working hard. But when I was watching, man, it just seemed like it was a little too easy for him. And the shots that the Suns was taking, man, the way they was playing, man, it was like there was no drive. There was no drive there. So I don't know right now. What took place? Yo, it's ridiculous, man. It's really ridiculous. But it's going to be a long summer. But with that being said, man, the question now is, should Dallas be the favorites over Golden State? And who's the favorite? And who's going to be the favorites in the East? I want y'all to hit the chat up on YouTube. Go to YouTube. Go on the chats on the live stream. Throw your questions in there. I want to answer some questions. Go on YouTube live stream right now. You got any questions? I want to answer your questions. We talking the NBA Finals is going to be coming up real soon. It's right around the corner. So now we got the conference finals. I need to know who y'all going with. I need to know who y'all picking right now. My pick was my pick was Golden State and the Bucks, right? But without Middleton, I knew it was crazy. Without Middleton, I knew it was crazy. So it was a possibility that I knew Boston could kind of pull that one out. I don't know if Boston wins if Chris Middleton is there. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know about that one. But I will say this, that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, man, ain't nothing to mess with, man. You know, we haven't seen a dynamic wing duo in the NBA like this since LeBron went to Miami, and it was him and D Wade on the perimeter, because that was during the time where they both were playing some of the best defense. You know, you had two athletic players that can kind of create their own shots, create for others. They both were good passers. They both were good rebounders. So you had two players on the wing that was like all around players, you know. And prior to that, the closest thing, which I would say the best duo, you know, of all time, probably, you know, as far as guard and small forward, it had to be like, you know, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. As far as duo wise, because they won so much together, and they did it for a long period of time, and they complemented one of each other. They complemented each other a lot, very well. So if I was to pick one, I you know, of course we know how it is. But Jaylen Brown, that's a nice move, man. Jason Tatum, Boston got something special in their hand. But I seen this coming like a long time ago. It was just that they had to get their bench right and they had to get their role players set. It seemed like Marcus Smart has settled in now, and he knows who he is as a player. Because when he was coming out of college, he was more so known for like a gritty defender. You know, early on in his NBA career as well. Don't get me wrong, every now and then he had, you know, shots. And I always felt like he would show up in big moments. I always felt like Marcus Smart, even though he didn't have a nice bag with him, like when it came down to the big moments, he was available. And I think that, you know, that's a good thing. So the question I have right now for my boy Tim, has the Suns window closed with Ayton being a free agent? I would say this. I think the Suns window definitely closed, man. I like Devin Booker as a player. I think DeAndre Ayton is a great player. Is a good player. You know, we know Chris Paul is a Hall of Fame player. I still give him credit for being a Hall of Fame player, even though I think he's overrated. But I'm going to respect him, his Hall of Fame status. So here's what I would say. If they don't come back next year hungry and run through the league and win a championship, I don't want to hear about just getting to the finals. They need complete redemption after that showing. So if they don't come back with that fire, it's definitely over for them. But if I'm Ayton, do I stay? Do I go somewhere else? Will somebody try to steal him from the Phoenix Suns? Because if they lose DeAndre Ayton, that's going to be a big piece missing from that team, especially with Chris Paul is going to another year older, aging. He's not aging backwards. So you mean to tell me you're going to have Chris Paul? Or are you going to turn over the keys to Payne? I think sometimes you got to know when to turn over the keys. I don't know if, you know, I think Chris Paul, I think he served his purpose. And I think if he's like your main guy, again, going into next year, even though he got to come back hungry, I don't know if Payne fully develops. You know, basketball is a little different than football. A lot of times in basketball, man, don't get me wrong, you have your Kawhi Leonard type plays, but they come far, very rare. Very rare you get a guy like Kawhi who develops into a great player. But he came in Nobody wasn't expecting much from Kawhi Leonard. So I don't know right now. And I agree. I agree with Tim saying. Tim is saying right now that I think it's a wrap since Memphis and Golden State is on the rise. They need Ayton or they definito. Yo, I agree 100% with that. I agree 100%. They lose Ayton, you might as well forget about it because only thing that can help them is maybe if we talking about these rosters going back into next year, we talking about teams, making adjustments, especially the teams that are already good. Like a team like Memphis, of course, they're gonna want to maybe add a little bit more veteran leadership somewhere. Maybe a player that has some championship, some championship pedigree, or has been to the finals or played in the finals or won in the finals, and somebody can bring like a little more toughness with him. Then you got Golden State getting better. You see Jordan Poole, he's doing his thing. I'm pretty sure, man. I'm counting on the Lakers to kind of regroup and be back at it next year. And then you got, my boy saying, I ain't see it yet. My boy Tim saying, like, you got Patrick Beverly calling out Chris Paul. You got Patrick Beverly calling out Chris Paul. So, I mean, we've been having this conversation for a long time. A lot of people called me at one time a Chris Paul hater because I was just saying that he's overrated. And when I was saying overrated, I was speaking in the context like he's not on the level of Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. He's not in that realm. And I think he think he is, and the NBA treat him like he is, but he never shows up when it's time to show up. He's not a winner. It's a lot of players that go to bad teams and make them a little better than what they were before they got there. That's easy to do. I'm not saying it's easy to do, but if you're a good player, or I can say a great player, because I say Chris Paul is a great player. You can either put him in a star status, but I'm not labeling him no superstar. And if you watch the games, because I'm hearing I'm seeing messages of what Patrick Beverly is talking about. We know that Chris Paul was one of the dirtiest players in the NBA for years. We know that. So when he's talking about Chris Paul's defense, I ain't surprised. But he put him on blast, man. Patrick Beverly gonna need some players to step up and like, yo, retweet that or at least like the tweet. He gonna have to at least like the tweet. Somebody gonna have to like the tweet from the NBA, because if not, people gonna look at him as like a hater. Or he just trying to kick Chris Paul when he down. We need somebody to vouch. We need somebody to vouch for that. Somebody need to like that. Somebody need to like that. Like it or share it. Share it on social media so we can see what's good. But the Phoenix Suns, man, they had their opportunity. I felt like with so much going on, this was their year to try to get one in. Just like this was the year for the Bucks to try to repeat. Because right now, it's looking like, Boston is on their way. Boston is on their way. They ain't going nowhere, man. They ain't trading Brown. They ain't trading Tatum. I'm glad they didn't make that trade, during the season when people was calling for it. They held on. Yo, appreciate it, Tim. Yo, I'm at to call your agent, man, get you on. I definitely gotta get my boy Tim. Yo, people don't understand, man. Like, yo, we used to debate like sports, man. Definitely basketball. Me, him, and a dude named Jay, man. Like, and Ed, in the domes, man, all night long, man. And then sometimes we'll call each other out, and we in the back of the domes, man. We at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, playing 2-on-2s or 1-on-1s in the back, just going hard. People don't know what that life was like. It probably helped develop where I am today right now and my desires and stuff. But yo, he's definitely like one of those cool dudes. I gotta get him up here, man. You know, I used to play for Farmingdale, so that was a good experience, man. That was a good experience. But yo, now we talked about the Suns, man. Let's shift to the Bucks right now. Um, a lot of times when players lose, how do you see Giannis right now? Just drop it in the comment section on a live chat. Like, it's certain plays they feel like they should win regardless. So Giannis right now, no Chris Middleton. We just move on. We don't have nothing else to say about him. It's just a done deal. Is it over or nah? Like if let's say this, if that was LeBron James, they'll be knocking him right now for not pulling it out. Even though if that was LeBron in the same exact situation, he lost Middleton, they'll knock him on his Western. He can never be the GOAT. So because Giannis lost last night, right? Not saying he's in the GOAT conversation, but Giannis is still young. He already got a championship. If you say within the next 6 years, 7 years, if he could remain healthy, he could at least get 2 or 3 more championships. He's getting buckets. He's getting rebounds. He plays defense. He's like a maniac type player. He's a beast. Could Giannis potentially be a Mount Rushmore player when it's all said and done? Could he knock somebody out the box? Oh no, he just playing because it seemed like he got the potential to do that because he has an all-around game. And when you talking about that, when it's all said and done, he's going to be out there statistically in every category. And I had a caller that kind of brought that up. Now I'm not saying that. I don't know. It's going to be hard to knock. You can't. I mean, how do you knock out Kareem, Russell, Jordan, LeBron, Magic? I think those are like the 5 where everybody is different orders, but I think that's like the 5 where people kind of say like, yo, that's the 5 we can be like. You can go anyone at the top or any 4 in top Rushmore or whoever the GOAT, but that's the 5 when I think you get the majority of people saying. They say, Kareem, Jordan, LeBron. You got your old heads with the Bill Russell, and you got a lot of people that love Magic Johnson. They love Magic Johnson. They think he's more Laker than Kobe. He more represent the Lakers than Kobe, even though Kobe played for 20 years. And we know how Kobe is with the Lakers, man. We know his stamp that he put there. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. We gotta see. We gotta see. But, Giannis definitely balled, man. He had a great series. He did his thing. I don't think he don't really got nothing to prove. I ain't gonna bash Giannis. I ain't gonna bash Giannis like how they do, like LeBron if he would have lost in that same situation. I respect what Giannis did. He came out, he balled out. But like they shot 4 for 33. You ain't beating nobody shooting 4 for 33. In threes, man. You ain't winning that game. You definitely not winning that. Or you shouldn't win that game. If you win that game, you should be proud you won that game. But you shouldn't win that game. So I don't know. But at the same time, man, who's the future right now? Who's the future the NBA is looking like right now? Is it Luka or is it Jason Tatum? Is it Luka or Jason Tatum? Like who they trying to push right now? Because it seems like the NBA is really trying to push those 2 right now. Who's that guy? Who y'all think is that guy? Can Luka pull out a win against Golden State? because Golden State got a lot of firepower. Can Luka and Brunson go to Golden State and make it happen? And if he does, where y'all putting Luka at? Where's Luka going? Is he moving up? I think so. But I got to see it, man. He got to win. He got to win this series, you know. But just going to the conference finals is a good move. That's definitely going to, you know, a good move in the West. And it wasn't no easy road. Definitely wasn't no easy road. So Luka, man, I don't know. He was doing a little bit of everything. He was doing whatever he wanted to, and there was nothing that anybody that can do that could stop him. And I was like, yo, I was really surprised by that. I think the Phoenix Suns, man, they owe their fans something. They owe their fans something, man. They shouldn't have went out like that. They owe the fans. You can't go out like that. You can't go out like that, man. That was a horrible performance. But now, you know, I'm gonna move on. I'm excited, man, about this series, man, with Golden State. I don't know why I'm excited. I feel like, you know, many people thought that the Suns should have blew out Dallas a little bit, but I think this series is probably gonna go 5 games. I'll give Dallas 1 game. I'll be surprised if this series, Dallas versus Golden State, I'll be surprised if that series go 6 games. I think with the veteran leadership that the Golden State Warriors have, you know, the championship experience, they have the chemistry that they've been playing with for years. I think that's more than enough with their role players to close out this series in 4 or 5 games. You know, I give Luka 1 game. I'll give Luka 1 game. But yo, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back to you.
Time move here, Gary.
Talk about elevating and linger. Jermaine Griffin says, well, if Kobe can't do it, maybe it's my turn to take over. I'm the second leading scorer on this team.
Yo. You tuned in to Mel from Queens Sports Talk. This is Mel from Queens Sports Talk Radio. Yo, right now, I want you to jump on in a live chat on YouTube. I want you to subscribe. I want you to comment. I want you to like. You know, I want to hear from y'all right now, man. Let's talk, man. You know, let's talk about anything, you know, regards to, you know, the conference finals that's coming up. And we could talk about the blowouts, you know, as well. Let's talk about it. Last night was horrible basketball, man. It was horrible for the NBA for 2 Game 7s. You know, that's not what, you know, I don't think NBA fans expected. I think many, felt it should have been better. That was kind of like a dub, man. That was kind of like a dub. Like, man, it's like you wasted your whole entire Sunday. We thought we was gonna see some good games, and you see dudes down 40. You got dudes down 40, man. Come on. In the 3rd quarter. So it was ugly. It was ugly last night. And then you got the Bucks, they got blown off the court in Boston. And The thing about with Boston, we had a conversation on Saturday. I was telling people, and we had a conversation. It was that Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and Al Horford, they had experience. They already together. They've been to 2 conference finals. So, they traded Horford and he came back. But, he was with them during those years when they went to the conference finals. So they had experience. So somebody had actually picked Boston, one of the callers, to possibly win that game 7 on Saturday. I think it was my boy Slave, 9th inning. I think he had picked Boston. But he was like, yo, he can't count out the champs. But overall, from what I took, he had Boston. He had Boston winning that. And I said to him, I was like, yo, that's not a bad pick because they got a lot of experience. They got a lot of, they've been to 2 conference finals already. And they know what it's like to get there at least that far. So now they're in position now to take it a step further. And as bad as I want to pick Miami, I just don't know, man, because if Jimmy Butler and Jason Tatum go at it, sort of like when LeBron and Butler went at it, right? Who's going to stop Jaylen Brown? Who's going to stop Jaylen Brown? Now, collectively, the Miami Heat got a lot of weapons. And if y'all haven't been watching, it seems like Spoelstra was holding Victor Oladipo, man, on like yo, just fall back into the playoffs. Because he's been balling. He's been doing his thing. And you got Hero off the bench. So those 2 off the bench, they've been pouring in at least about 35, 40 points between them. That's a lot. And if you got a healthy Kyle Lowry, you got Adebayo, you got Tucker, Miami ain't going to be no easy win. But I don't know, man. Boston also got one of the best defenses in the league, man. They probably had the best defense since All-Star break. They probably had the best defense since All-Star break. So that Boston defense, that Miami defense, it's gonna be a grudge match, I think. It's definitely gonna be a grudge match. So I don't know. I don't know who I'm picking yet. I'm still thinking about it. I don't know yet. I think I'm gonna go with Boston. I think I'm gonna go with Boston to win this. I feel like there might be too much. You need when you get to the conference finals and the NBA finals, like those are the times when you really need star power. And Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat gonna have to bring it together. Now I'm not saying they can't do it. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Boston. But I think it might be Boston versus Golden State. The NBA might want Boston versus Dallas. But I'm looking at Boston versus Golden State. But I think in the East, the teams are a lot closer than what we want to watch in the West. Like I'm not giving Dallas a shot. I'm pretty sure Steve Kerr and Mike Brown, because don't sleep on Mike Brown as a assistant coach who, was hired, as for the Sacramento Kings once the season is over and going into next year, right? He's one of those guys who could scheme up some defenses and stuff. So I don't think that Luka's going to be looking all pretty like he was doing like in these first floating around. I don't think it's going to be like that against the Golden State Warriors. Because not only is he going to have to play offense 24/7, he's really not going to be able to get a break on defense because you got Clay, you got Steph. So unless you playing, Wiggins, and Wiggins going to make you work, who you guarding? You got to guard one of those 3. you got to guard one of those three players. So you're not Luka not getting a break. So I see Luka getting tired. I see Luka, using more energy this series. I see Steve Kerr and Mike Brown and that coaching staff throwing more schemes at him to slow him down. I think they're gonna try to make the other players beat him this time around. We all watch. You just let Luka sit back and just do what he do. He just do what he do. But I think it's gonna be a different story for the Golden State Warriors. They know what it's like. They've been there. And one thing about the Warriors, they hungry again. They hungry again. They want that championship. They want another one. They want to prove. They got a point to prove now. They got a point to prove now. So, it's going to be a good one. But I'm picking Golden State in 5 games. I don't see them going. I don't see that series going 6 games. Me personally, I don't see that series going 6 games. Who see that series going 6 games? Let me know. Drop in the chat. How you see this series going? I'm picking Golden State. I'm thinking Klay Thompson is going to have a nice series. Your boy Steph Curry going to have a good series in your pool. I think that's going to be too much. Andrew Wiggins. So it's going to be different. Picking Golden State in 5 games. Golden State 4-1. And Miami, man, let me see. I'm picking Boston to win in. I want to say 6 games, but I'm trying to think. If I say 6 games, am I underestimating Miami? Because Kyle Lowry, man, PJ Tucker, man, they got championship pedigree in them. Jimmy Butler been to the finals with the Heat. Abayo and them, Hero, Duncan Robinson, they've been to the finals. So you got some guys mixed in there that's been to the finals, some that won the finals, and you got a bunch of role players that's been in those moments, so they know what it's like. So Miami ain't gonna be scared. And I gotta give Eric Spoelstra his respect, man. He's a good coach. He's a really good coach. And he's going to have them ready. And they're going to be throwing schemes and stuff like that at Boston. So, it's going to be interesting. That's going to be an interesting series, man. But I give it to Boston in 6. If it goes 7, it's going to be in Boston again. We just saw what happened in the Game 7. But I don't know. Miami is just a different type of team. You know what Miami remind me of a little bit? But with one better player, they pretty much remind me of a team like the Detroit Pistons that beat the Lakers, that beat Shaq and Kobe, Karl Malone, and Gary Payton. That team with Billups, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, that team. You had a bunch of players that know how to play ball. And you had, people that knew their role and they wasn't stepping on toes. That's what Miami remind me of right now. So any series they in, it could go any way. I'm picking Boston, but I'm not going to be surprised if Miami win the series. If Miami go to the finals, I won't be surprised if they win the finals. But I'm not picking them to win the finals. I don't know right now. It's too much other star power out there. That's going up against Jason Tatum, man, and Jaylen Brown, man, that's a lot. And although Miami can do it collectively, and they are at home, so they do have home court advantage. So, maybe it should go 7. But let me watch and see how the first game go. I'm gonna watch the first game to see how the first game go. I'm still picking Boston for right now, but I want to watch the games. I want to see how it goes. I want to see I want to check Miami's temperature. Like that first game, they got to come out. They got to make their stamp, especially playing at home, because they don't want to take no risk in Boston. They don't want to take no risk trying to prove they can win in Boston. So we gotta see. So I'm picking my finals. Boston versus Golden State. And if Boston go to the finals, I believe they're gonna win it. I can only I'm thinking they winning it. If Boston go to the finals, they gonna win it. I don't think they're gonna lose. I don't care who they play. It's gonna be Golden State. I don't think Dallas gonna make it. So if Boston go to the finals and they play Golden State, they're gonna win the finals. They gotta win it. Like I said, I know Golden State is hungry. I know they got weapons. But that's going to be a lot when they playing against that Boston defense. That was one thing that the Cleveland Cavaliers did well against Golden State the years before Kevin Durant got there. They pretty much played good defense. So they kept Curry working on both ends of the court, and the same with Klay Thompson. And if you look at those first 2 finals, they was kind of like not. They didn't play out of this world. They had good games. We know that Golden State won the first series because Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love was injured. Kyrie Irving only played the first game. Kevin Love ain't play any. And then the second year, we saw what happened. But it was a lot of low-scoring games in that series. Even the final game, I think it only scored about 94 or 97 points or something like that. Maybe 94. But I'm picking right now, man. We only got like 2 minutes left to go on the show. I'm gonna pick my picks, man. I'm going with Boston and Golden State. Neither one of those are my teams. But if I got to pick based on what we got left, I'm going to pick those 2. And if they meet in the finals, I'm saying Boston. I'm saying Boston win the championship this year. And they break that tie with the Lakers, and the Lakers come back next year, and LeBron and them, they're gonna take it next year. But this year it's gonna be Boston. But it is what it is, man. I thank y'all for checking me out, man. Mel from Queens Sports Talk. This is episode 2. This is called the Blowout Series, man. Because it was blowouts, a lot of blowouts. Yo, till Wednesday, yo, I appreciate y'all, checking me out, listening. Yo, tell people to tune in. WGJSradio.com. Or they can check us out on YouTube, Our World Media. Subscribe. Yo, leave a comment. Like, share. Let people know, man, what it is, man, and what we doing out here. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Appreciate it.
talk about elevating and linger, Jermaine Griffin says, well, if Kobe can't do it, maybe it's my turn to take over. I'm the second leading scorer on this team.